Hi, I'm Jane Basom. I currently teach high school geometry at Central Montcalm High School in Stanton, Michigan, where I am finishing my 9th year of teaching. More importantly, I have another full-time job as wife to my husband Dan and mother of our 1-year-old Hunter. At 31 years of age, I would say that I am competent with technology, and I have no issue using it to better my life and make things more efficient. At this point, if my smartphone were taken from me, it would feel as though I had lost half of my brain. I am indeed a heavy user of my tech devices and would be lost without them. As much as I use it, I also have a healthy resistance to technology. I believe that the way we presently live life, in the fast lane, being always on, task switching at lightning speed, and a constant state of information overload, is bad for our health. Just because we are capable does not mean it is the way we should be living. Historically, technology has been developed with the purpose of making our lives easier. But now, it almost seems as if there is even more to keep up with. Occasionally, it is necessary to unplug and put ourselves in timeout. First of all, we should be cautious to do everything collaboratively with the latest and greatest technology. As teachers, we have a lot to offer from our own educational adventures and content-specific knowledge and pedagogy. Therefore, I believe the best approach is a blended approach. Second, resourcefulness is an important outcome of education. It is imperative that students learn how to do their own research and become perseverant problem solvers. We want them to be curious enough to ask questions and motivated enough to find their own answers in the learning process. This is easier than ever with all the technology resources we literally hold in our hands. Earlier, I described my affection for my smartphone. I can't begin to describe how much I have learned by simply saying, "Okay, Google," and asking my burning questions. With a few taps of my fingertip, I am able to discriminate whether sources are reliable, then eagerly click to connect the dots, constructing a web of knowledge until I have reached a solution or come to a conclusion. I think one mistake we make in education is assuming too much of our students, assuming that they can intuitively use technology as well as or better than ourselves. What we do know is that young people see technology as entertaining. But do we know whether they are truly aware of how to use technology for educational purposes? Perhaps these are the conversations that we should be having in our classrooms today. We need to ensure our students are equipped with the skills necessary to navigate the internet for information-seeking purposes, as this is imperative for present and future learning. Lastly, passion is developed when we choose to learn something with our own free will. Although it requires time, it's not stressful to learn something you want to learn. It is empowering. Personally, in mathematics, I have long felt frustration, forcing students to learn what they have no interest in or concepts that they really may never use. I believe that when it was mandated that every student have 4 years of mathematics up through at least an Algebra 2 level, it did a disservice to students and teachers. Previously, students could choose their own learning path based on what they wanted to do in life. If they did not go the professional route with a 4-year university or into a math science-based career, then students only needed to complete foundational algebra and geometry courses. Beyond the basic requirements, there was a plethora of elective offerings or skilled programs available to pursue learning in their field of interest. They had the freedom to dabble, to find and follow their passion, in the words of Mark Prensky. Today's one-size-fits-all approach places all of the responsibility on teachers, expecting them to find creative ways to advertise and package content in order to sell something to students that they don't want to buy, as Dan Meyer has said in his popular TED Talk. Speaking from experience, this approach has disconnected students from their learning and drained teachers who are desperately trying to get students to care about their education. In some ways, I have lost a passion for my own subject area. It feels suffocating, as Sir Ken Robinson has said. I wish there was a way that students could choose their own path and become more inspired to learn. I wish they could feel the rush of solving a problem they actually care about. I wish there was another option for students to repeatedly fail their math classes despite all of their teachers' attempts. These students have so much value beyond their mathematical ability, but are left with no time to pursue a course of study that they may actually excel at. Learning isn't enjoyable when it is forced and feels like work. Regardless of what new technology or fancy package we create, students will always resist standardization and uniformity. Alas, since I cannot change the politics of education, the bottom line is that I need to help students learn to use the tools available to become self-sufficient, lifelong learners of any content. This is the problem of practice I would like to consider. I hope to find ways to implement blended learning in order to teach students how to teach themselves using the resources made available to them whenever and wherever. It is my hope that this will allow students to be able to get in the driver's seat when it comes to their education, instead of going for a wagon ride with me as their tractor driver.